Hello, I'm Steph and welcome to this 60-minute yin yoga session. This is all about letting go and just nourishing after the turbulent start to 2022 that we have had. It's the time to just take a break, to reset and to just be one with yourself. It is a little taste tester of what is to come in my up and coming course, Let Love Yin, where we will be doing 90-minute yin yoga sessions and basically walking through all of the mindfulness tools and techniques that I've learned over the last couple of years in managing my mental health and also my overall well-being. I am very excited for everyone to dive in. If you do have supports at home like a bolster or yoga block, then I definitely recommend going and grabbing whatever you have. You could put 2 towels over the top of each other, roll them up into a nice long ball just like this one. Otherwise, a folded up blanket works really well as well. So pause it here, go and get everything that you've got, come back and reset. We're going to be using the supports today to make sure that your body is being protected and held during this yin yoga session, and also to help us get into parts of the body that we otherwise can't get into without being elevated off the ground. When you're ready, we will start by taking a comfortable seat, either kneeling or cross-legged, and we'll just gently take the gaze down towards the floor or soften and close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths here, breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. In again through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose again and out the mouth. Feeling how the body comes down a little further. Steady now through the nose and out the nose. Take note of how the air comes in through the nostrils and then gently leaves. Focus in on that sensation. Let the mind slow, the heart rate, and just become aware. Become aware of the body, the sensations that you can feel, the sounds that you can hear. Your feelings and emotions. Becoming aware of whatever is present for you today. And we're not trying to let go of any of that or to leave it outside of the room. We're just going to allow it to sit with us here today and allow it to become part of our experience. As we move through our mindfulness techniques during our yin yoga practice today, we are going to be bringing our attention to those focus points. So the body, the breath, emotions, sound. And when the mind does wander and carry you back to one of those thoughts or projects or plans that you have, we're trying to accept that that is where our attention is being drawn. But to keep us here in the present moment, I'm going to try and bring the attention back to whatever our focus is. The same way that the breath nourishes the body, today we will allow our practice to also nourish the body. In through the nose and out the nose. Steady, long breaths. we'll slowly find movement in the fingers and the toes again. And gently open up the eyes and soften a smile to our face. We're going to move into our very first pose. Now we're going to start on all hands and knees today. We're going to be coming into a wide knee child's pose. So from tabletop position, I want you to take your knees out as far as the mat will allow. Keep the toes together and then send the hips as far back as you can towards the heels. We're going to stay nice and supported today, so you can either take your bolster or your pillows, whatever you've got, and we'll just place it underneath the body, placing the head down on the bolsters, arms out in front, or hugging the bolster, whatever feels more nourishing for you. If you'd like something a little bit more intense, then take the bolster horizontally. We'll place it underneath forearms and the elbows here, dropping the head down towards the mat, leaning the third eye. Otherwise, if you don't have any props, then just connecting yourself to the earth. So arms out in front and head to the floor. Now spend a few minutes here. Don't mind me as I move and concentrate our practice on you, what your mindfulness will be. I may not stay in the same pose as you, but I am here to keep an eye on what you're doing, not what I'm doing. And soften into the pose now. We're going to be here for a few minutes. If it's too intense to have the head directly on the forehead, just take it either to the side, left side, or to the right side. Again, let's begin to focus our mindfulness on the breath. Taking long, deep inhales in through the nose and out the nose. Allow the body to fall a little bit deeper, relaxing the face, the shoulders, the hips, letting the floor really, truly hold you. And the body may continue to soften. Just allow it to do whatever it needs to do. There is no right or no wrong. Our target area is the groin, the shoulders. If you need to move to find the right spot, and that's what you need to do. And when you've found it, come back to stillness. Come back to the breath. And if you had your head on one side, just gently turn it over to the other side now. Watching the breath for a few seconds longer before we come out of this pose. We'll slowly begin to rise up really nice and carefully here. And just bring the hips and the knees back together for a quick second and find movement if you need to. And then we'll just come down onto the belly, taking the hands either beside you or up above you. Resting underneath the head. It's important after our long holds that we take a moment to rebound, to allow the body to reset and to allow the blood to recirculate around the body. When you're ready, we're just going to slowly move up. Staying on our belly, take the arms out into a cactus position on the floor, just like this. And we're going to gently begin to roll onto our right side. I'll demonstrate on my left for you. We'll bring the knees up and rest them on each other, rolling up onto our right shoulder. Using this arm here, we're going to lift it to elevate ourselves. Head remains on the floor. We're coming into our open wings. Our target area is the shoulder, the pec, and a little bit of the spine. And if this is a little bit too intense, you can grab a bolster and come a little bit further onto your stomach and just rest it by your body just here in front of you. Otherwise, to increase the intensity, you lift the arm up, create a twist or a bind behind the back, and find stillness here. We'll be here for a few minutes, so let's take down the eyes again. Focus in on the breath. And allow the body again to just drop back in. Coming back to the breath, back to the mindfulness. Taking deep inhales, allowing it to oxygenate, fill the body, to nourish. Allowing yourself to drop further in, decrease the intensity or increase the intensity. Come back to the body, come back to the breath. And coming out slowly, gently releasing the binded arm, rolling back onto your belly, bringing your arms beside you, resting the head on the floor for a few seconds here. And we'll take the arms up again gently. This time we'll roll onto the left side. Arms up into a cactus, bending the knees and using that opposite arm as leverage. And when you're ready, closing down the eyes, finding stillness. Opening up through the chest here and connecting into our heart space. into the heart chakra. And just watching the sensations that begin to arise in the body. Where is it located? What does the sensation feel like? Is it too intense? Could you afford to come out of the pose a little bit, lower the intensity? We never want to be more than 60 to 70% of our maximum in any given pose. So if it feels too intense, then just gently lessen it. Mindfulness of sensation here. So bringing your awareness to the sensation. And taking a bind if you do want to come a little bit deeper into the pose, or staying exactly as you are. We have a few more minutes here. We can change the mindfulness back to the breath now. A few more seconds here. And on an inhale, let's slowly begin to unravel and come back to our stomach. Resting the head on the floor or by your side here. Whatever is more comfortable. Allow the body to rebound and reset. And concentrate on any changes that you feel. A difference in emotion or physical change. I'm going to slowly lift up now, remaining on your belly. Make sure you've got your bolster and your block handy. We're going to come up into Sphinx pose. So you can take elbows underneath our shoulders and hands out in front. And just creating a nice gentle back bend here. Nice and nourishing for the spine. Now, if this is a little bit too intense, you can take the bolster underneath your armpits and cuddle onto that a little bit and rest most of your weight into the bolster or into your blanket. So we're placing less focus on the shoulders and less stress into them. Now if this is not intense enough, then just come up onto your elbows. And you can take the hands into a prayer pose here. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Come up like this. Increasing that lower back bend there. If the head becomes a little sore, just take a block and you can rest your head on the block, just like this, or on the floor. Whatever you choose. Beginning to close down the eyes now. Letting the breath sink you deeper into the pose. Relaxing the body as much as you can. I'm going to turn our attention now to mindfulness of sound and what we can hear. Let's concentrate on firstly what is close to us. And what can you hear in the room that you're in? And taking your attention now to what you can hear outside this room. Nature, birds, cars. Take your awareness there now. Maybe soften a little bit more here. Relaxing the face and shoulders, hips, feet. Become heavy. If your mind is elsewhere, come back to the sound. Close or far, what can you hear? And we'll slowly begin to come out now. Keep your bolster close. What we're going to do is just rest again down and rebound. Coming back to the breath and the body. On an inhale, let's just slowly lift up, and we're going to come up and through and onto our backs now. We've spent a lot of time on the upper body. We're going to move into the lower body now, and we're going to move into a reclined shoelace pose. So for this one, we're going to use the bolster underneath our hips. Use a pillow, blankets, whatever you've got. As we head down, lift your hips all the way up and just place the bolster underneath your sacrum. So keeping your glutes nice and supported here. It's just going to make the lift with our knees just a little bit easier for us and to protect our lower back a little bit more. Do shoelace pose. Lift the right leg all the way up towards the ceiling and over this left knee. Now lift both knees up towards you and try and reach for your ankles. Our target area here is our glutes, our adductors. And if you're finding it a little bit hard to reach the ankles, then just come for the knees and try and hold onto the knees. Let the shoulders drop back and relax. Release the tension in the hips and let them fully relax onto the ground or onto your bolster. Whatever modified shape you find is absolutely okay. And close down the eyes once more and bring the attention back to the body. We're going to change our mindfulness here to mindfulness of feeling. So connecting in and listening to what it is that you are feeling and what emotions are coming up for you, and what your overall mood is. And just sitting with that and becoming curious to whatever emotions arise. Again, we're not trying to shoo them away or tell them they're not allowed to be here. We're just allowing them to be. Coming back now to feeling, emotion. Perhaps finding some acceptance for what it is you found. Slowly begin to unravel, releasing the legs. Bring them back down towards the earth. Slowly lift up the hips, release the support, and drop the hips back down towards the ground. Extend the knees for a second. And take a few deep, long breaths here. And we're not going to stay here for too long. We're going to bring back a little bit of movement. So if you can see, we're going to bring the knees up, keep the feet on the floor, and just drop the knees down towards each side here. And take the feet a little bit further apart if you like. Completing our windscreen wipers here and just creating more movement through the legs. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the bolster back under the hips and go for the left side this time. So again, bolster or support underneath the hips here. And lifting up the left leg this time, dropping it over the right leg and bringing those knees up towards your chest. Holding the knees or the ankles, whatever is accessible to you. And when you've found what works for you, close down the eyes once more. And we'll return the focus back to the breath. And while you're here in this pose, you may like to create a little visualization with every inhale. And each breath is coming into the body and filling it out with nourishment. That may take a visual of healing light, gold or white. And as it comes in through the nose, filling up the body, it spreads to all parts of the body, bringing in healing and nourishment. Bring the attention back, the mind has wandered. Nourishing inhales and exhales. Slowly unraveling and coming out of the pose, bringing the feet back to the floor, lifting the hips, removing the bolster, allowing the legs to come out straight for just a moment. Take a few deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, heels come up. Spread the feet apart, drop the knees down to the ground. Windscreen wiper. We're going to come up, gently lift yourself up. And we're going to come into a supported butterfly. So take your bolster either behind you, or if you've got blocks, then that's perfect. We're just going to sit it right behind the bottom or the glutes. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together. You can leave the feet out a little bit further if you like. What we'll do is slowly begin to walk ourselves back. So gently coming down onto the bolster here. Being careful if you do have lower back issues, then just release the bolster down towards the ground. Otherwise, if you are on the floor or on the bolster here, just raising the arms up and creating a further stretch here through the chest muscles and opening up again through the heart chakra. Closing down the eyes. If you need to take a block to support your head, go ahead. Our target area is also through the groin here. And choosing whatever mindfulness you would like this time. So concentrating on sound, feeling, sensation, or breath. Whatever you choose. Just allow yourself to be fully supported here. Let go of anything that you've been holding on to. Of the anxiety or worry or stress that has already been built up in these past few days of 2022. Let your body sink. Release the tension from the muscles. Let go. If you feel something intense, then just let it come. Let it wash over you. Let it be there. Feel it. The only way to heal is to feel. Whatever your focus was, try to bring your mind back to it the last minute here. We'll take an inhale now. Switch the core on. And using your hands, shoulders and elbows, slowly, as slowly as you can, lift yourself back up into seated. Just for a second, move the bolster out of the way. And let's come down onto our back and onto the spine. Lengthen the legs. And drop the hands by your side. Our final pose here is Shavasana. And close down the eyes. Again, relaxing and allowing We'll finish with one final mindfulness technique today, the body scan. Starting at the very top of your skull, the crown. Focus on the very top point of your head. Coming down to your forehead, eyebrows, both ears and eyes, your nose, upper lip, bottom lip, and both cheeks. Your chin, neck, and both shoulders. your sternum and chest, your spine and belly button, and the top of your hips and the bottom of your hips, the top of your thighs and the bottom of your legs. Your kneecaps, your shins, calf muscles, the inside of your ankles, and the outside. The top of your foot and the bottom of your foot. Your big toe all the way to your pinky toe. Let the mindfulness go and just let the mind wander, allowing it to be free, for it to just let go too. Let the nourishment sink in to each corner of the body. And filling you up with that light again. Feel free to stay here a little bit longer, or feel free to come with me. I'm going to gently introduce movement back into the fingers and toes now. The feet and the hands. And take both arms up and over the head. Give a big stretch. Or an inhale, rolling onto your preferred side and gently resting there, using your elbow as a pillow. Keeping the eyes closed, we'll slowly move ourselves back up into a seated position. And bring your hands to touch at heart center. Gently deepen the breath here. Exhaling out the mouth in a big sigh. 2 more just like that, in through the nose. Big sigh. 1 more. And out. Allow yourself time to just be, to gather yourself from our practice. Bring the body, the heart and the mind back into alignment. Filling ourselves up with nourishment. Finding gratitude for allowing yourself the time here to make it to the mat today. Setting aside time for yourself. We'll gently bring the thumbs to our third eye. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for that yin session. I hope that you're feeling a little bit more revitalized and refreshed to continue in your week. Thank you very much.